baby.
Alrighty, folks. That wasn't the introduction I wanted, but we'll take it. God gummit, there's a fly around here. Ugh, get out of here. There you go. Get out of here. All right, well, welcome to the College Gameday stream, everybody. How's it going? I apologize. Video's not working. I wanted it to be like a super cool introduction video, and for some reason that's just not the case today. But how's it going? Let me know how you guys are all doing. I'm actually going to try again with this intro video. Just pretend I'm not here.
We home, baby. We home. It ain't nothing like home, man. Hey, it's us against the world, fellas. It's us against the world, fellas. Don't nobody believe in it.
Wherever you're listening around the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Okay, now the video's working. That's great. Okay, so how are we doing, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. And this week we actually do not have a game. That's about the Buckeyes. Our main game today is going to be the Georgia Bulldogs and the 15th ranked Rocky Top Tennessee. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a great game today. Strap yourselves in. Let's get into the hype, boys. Rocky Top Nation is getting loud and getting fun, baby. All right, boys, I think without further ado, we should just jump right into the game that probably has everybody, whether you're in Georgia or in Tennessee. That's the game that everybody is talking about today. Let's jump in. Who do we have to look out for? Well, for starters, you got to look out for both of these good teams. Both teams are 2-0, and they're both top. They're both looking for that top spot in the SEC coming up here soon. But according to matchup prediction, Tennessee is actually favored to win tonight, which is crazy because if you actually look at the college pick'em on ESPN, 30% of people picking Tennessee, 70% picking Georgia. Season leaders, we got Stockton, the starting QB for the Bulldogs tonight with 417 passing yards. But Aguilar with 535 passing yards for the Volunteers. Thomas, season leading this year for rushing. He's got 161 yards with 24 carries and 3 touchdowns this year. And Frazier is leading the way for the Bulldogs with 116 rushing yards with 25 carries and 2 touchdowns. So this is a really evenly matchup as we go into the passing yards and rushing yards. But how about receiving? What are the receivers doing? Well, it looks pretty even. 187 yards so far this season for Brazel II with 14 receptions and 2 touchdowns. And looking over at the Georgia Bulldogs side now, Branch is a wide receiver with 6 receptions, 1 touchdown, and he's got 112 yards to his name. Defensively, Josephs with 2 sacks on the year for Tennessee. Meanwhile, for the Bulldogs, only 1 sack for Allen. So maybe this defense isn't as strong as we had hoped for the Bulldogs if they only have 1 sack the entire year. Maybe just from everybody, no one with more than 1 sack. And, I have to see how that turns out. But looking at how everything has gone recently for this very stacked Volunteers team, They beat Syracuse 45-26 week 1. Then in week 2, they beat I think that's Eastern Tennessee. I'm not too sure, but they won 72-17. So really, first couple games have been cupcake games for the Tennessee Volunteers, but it's going to be a good game. And now we're going to talk about Georgia last loss was actually against Notre Dame to go to the championship. That was actually to go to the semifinals. That was on the second day of the year, 2025 last year. Now skipping ahead, first week they took out the Marshall Thundering Herd 45-7 in a brutal one. I don't know. They played some FCS team and they won 28-6. So really, I think Tennessee is looking like the better team because they have really taken it to some of these teams in week 2, especially with that 72-17 victory. But let's check out if we're still live. So that's a breakdown of the Tennessee game. Are we still good? Let's see. I think we're good. I wish we had a guest picker, but I don't think we have a guest picker today. So you see I have a guest picker. I don't know if we're gonna have one today, so I might actually have to take that part down. So I don't think we're gonna have a special guest picker coming in today. But nevertheless, it's still going to be a fun day here on College Game Day. How's everybody doing in the chat? I'm going to give you guys just a few more minutes to get in here before we start breaking down some of the games today. 10:25 Eastern time, so we got plenty of time. I think we're still going. I think the next big thing we would have to break down would have to be the Saturday night game coming up on Peacock, and that would be. Switch the color. Maybe you can guess by the color. We're not talking about Georgia and Tennessee. We just talked about them. We're going to be talking about the Battle of Ohio. The Ohio Bobcats come on to take the number 1 ranked, the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Let's go, baby. It's going to be a fun night for the Buckeyes tonight. Number 1 ranked. And I got to say, how about the beatdown to Grambling State out of all the teams? And just told Emma that I was live, and here she is. But good to see you. It's going to be, it's going to be a fun day on game today. I don't have a guest picker. I wish I did, but 1 p.m. Let's talk about some of the Ohio State Buckeyes stats as we get into it here. Obviously, by ESPN matchup predictor, no doubt there. 95.5% of people are saying that the Buckeyes are gonna get it done today. And why wouldn't they? They beat Grambling State 77-0 last week. And when you do that to basically you're playing a FCS school who doesn't even belong playing you anyway. But still, it's gonna be a Big Ten Saturday night on Peacock. It's gonna be a good night. I'm excited for the Bucks. Let's jump into some of our season leaders. Our boy Julian Sane getting it done with 432 passing yards over 2 games. Now that first game against Texas was a little bit of a doozy, mostly a defensive battle, but that second game against Grambling got about 300 yards to his name. CJ Donaldson getting it done for the Buckeyes with 112 rushing yards with 24 carries and 2 touchdowns. This is where we get into the good stuff. Receiving yards, Jeremiah Smith, 162 with 11 receptions and 2 touchdowns on the year. Now, he would have more, but I think people know how good he is and they're locking down on him. And I'm not saying that from a biased perspective. I'm just saying that because people are actually doing a good job locking down on him, which is kind of bad because really, in that big game against Texas, he did not play as well as we wanted him to, and that's why he only has 162 yards to his name, is because he only really took off against that Grambling game. And really, I still think that Jeremiah Smith could be – he played great last year. I think today Jeremiah Smith is going to go off with at least, if not 100 yards. I think he could get 200. But leading sacks for the Bucks, Curry with 1, tackles 13 for Reese, the linebacker. And yeah, let's looking at Ohio University. They actually lost to Rutgers, 34-31. That's a Big Ten team. Now, then again, you are playing a Big Ten team, so I understand you're a MAC school, you're playing a Big Ten team, but then again, Rutgers is just trash. They really are. They just don't belong in the Big Ten. They belong in the ACC or just some trash division because they're not good enough. That's how I see it. We have 2 people in the chat, boys. Let's go. How we doing? And then week 2, they played West Virginia. I actually picked Ohio to beat West Virginia. I believe that they were going to have a bounce back game after that one against Rutgers. They only lost by 3 points to Rutgers, 34-31. So really, I see Ohio have a good future. If they can beat West Virginia, the Mountaineers, they have a good future. They're not going to beat the Buckeyes. I can already tell you that who I'm picking. And yes, I'll do picks later, but I am picking the Buckeyes. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. But looking at Navarro, he's actually a pretty good quarterback with 486 passing yards. I believe he's a senior. He's 43 for 62 on the year with 4 touchdowns. However, he does have 3 interceptions. Sayin has 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception. But, these Sayin and Navarro playing pretty good. And actually, Navarro is actually leading them in rushing yards. Their own QB with 27 carries. He called his own number, and he got into the end zone once out of rushing. Now they have played pretty good receiving wise. Is Hendricks, the receiver for Ohio, with 17 receptions and 1 touchdown, and Molinar with 1.5 sacks on the year for Ohio, and Fries, what a last name, Fries, the linebacker, with 15 tackles on the year. So really, I'm expecting both of these teams to have a good game today. But really, I think Ohio's going to blow out Ohio like 50-0. Give me the Bucks. All right, next big game we have to talk about today. We just have to talk about it. Let's see if I can get the right color. Very good. All right, next big game. Texas A&M on the road, playing Notre Dame, 7:30 p.m. So we do actually, for once, we actually get good games tonight. And I'm going to break down one more big game before we go into my picks here later. But Notre Dame, 71% picked in matchup predictor, according to ESPN. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you just yet who I'm going to be picking all today. But game's on NBC tonight, 7:30 kickoff at Notre Dame Stadium. However, I do like these Aggies with Reed, 509 yards passing. He is 41 for 62 on the year, 7 touchdowns. And then Reed also getting it done for rushing for them with 18 carries, and he gets a rushing touchdown. For receiving, Craver, 236 for A&M. Howell with 3 sacks on defense. The linebacker York with 12 tackles on the year. Now, you might be saying, well, they haven't played anybody that tough recently. That's why they're doing that bad. That's why the reason they're doing that bad. Okay, they played, in respect, they have played UTSA. I think that's like University of Texas Southern or something. I don't know. And then they played Utah State. Now, both of those games were won 42-24 and 44-22. So really, they have been 20-point victories. So they have only played cupcake games. Now, looking at Notre Dame, from their perspective, they've only played Miami, and that was week 1. I guess they had a bye week 2. I don't know why, but they played Miami, and that was a Sunday night game, and they lost 27-24, lost by a field goal. So if you're Notre Dame, you've played the good teams. Like, literally, if you look at their last 5 matchups, they were all ranked teams last year. Like, literally, they beat Indiana. Then they played Georgia. They beat them. Then they beat Penn State to go to the national championship. Of course, they had to lose to the Buckeyes. But from that perspective, I think they're playing really good teams. And it just seems like when they actually play the really good teams, they can't quite get it done. And I don't know why. So, looking at that for Notre Dame, they have played the good teams. But out of one game this year, Carr with 221 yards. So this is all, I'm pretty sure this is only one game. So we're looking at it from a one-game perspective. 221 yards, that's not bad. That's really not bad. 19 for 30, 2 touchdowns and an interception. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. Price getting it done for rushing yards, 45 yards with 6 carries on the year. Of course, that is only one game. 97 yards receiving. Their leader, Raridan, he got 5 receptions for 97 yards. Traore, the defensive lineman, getting it done with only 1 sack on the year. And 9 tackles for Strauman in one single game, because they've only played one game all year. So I don't know why they're ranked number 8 right now when you've only played one game all year. Texas A&M, I think they should honestly be ranked higher. That's just my opinion. But I honestly think this A&M team is good. And it's hard to say because even though Notre Dame has only played one game, I'm not sure which one is really better in this scenario. But I think looking at A&M, they have that extra game. They've played more teams. Of course, they have been bad. But from that perspective, I think Texas A&M might be the better team in this situation. I think we're still live. So this shows we're live. So I'm going to go. I did put a poll out there for you guys. So we just have maybe another 10 minutes before I'm going to get into my picks here. But let's just see what you all are saying. I did put a poll out there for you guys. What are y'all saying? We have 3 years. We have 3 likes on the stream. Thank you. And so far, we have Georgia as the winner with only 1 vote. I bet that was Emma. I might disagree with you, but I'm not going to give away my pick just yet. So, yeah, it looks like no one else is in chat. No one's super chatting. You want to know? Anybody want to know why you want to be a member? Because you can do this. You can do these chats. That's right. You can become a member and you can get cool chats if you look in the chat. But I don't know if they're popping up on the stream. It doesn't. Is it coming up? So I don't think it comes up on the. Oh, JM. Hello. How we doing? Did give you guys a moment to take a break. Let you guys come back in here. Next biggest game, and without a doubt, this one has to be South Florida. They're now ranked 18, guys. Can you believe that? South Florida is ranked 18, with Miami being a top 5 school. Really? I diz. Okay. Hi, Wilson. Now, Miami with a 72.1% chance of winning today, according to ESPN Matchup Predictor. And honestly, I think this is going to be a good game because we got to take a look at South Florida here for a second because this has got to be a great game. Brown leading the way with 473 passing yards, 39 for 60, and 1 touchdown on the year. My goodness. Rushing yards. The quarterback Brown. We see this a lot. It seems like the quarterbacks now are just carrying the ball and passing it, and I like that. 109 yards, 31 carries, and 2 touchdowns just from running himself. 160 yards for Singleton, the wide receiver. He's got 7 receiving. He's got 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns on the year. Watson the third, the fullback. How did he have a sack if he's a fullback? Maybe he plays both sides of the ball, but okay. Then we have a linebacker with 20 Schuler with 21 tackles on the year. Now, we gotta talk about it. We just gotta talk about it. Because I gotta say, this is pretty impressive. They destroyed Boise State 34-7 at home. Now, Boise State used to be ranked. They used to be like top 20. Why were they used to be ranked? Because they had Ashton Genty coming off a good year last year. But the only reason they really made the playoffs is because they won their conference and they had Ashton Genty. If they didn't do those two things, they would not be as close, as good of a team they were last year. I just think that the new rule with conference winners, I just don't 100% like that. I think if you had just more top 12 teams, I think it would be a lot better because Boise State is not a top 12 team. I'm sorry. They're just not. And then the next game, they played Florida at the Swamp. Think about the atmosphere that they played in. And they still won 18-16 on a field goal. And, man, both of these teams are 2-0 going into today. 4:30 p.m. is the kickoff. Bruh. Hello, Jasmine Ramsey, but bruh. Now looking at Miami, they're 2-0, and we talked about Notre Dame earlier. They beat Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame week 1, 27-24. And then the week after that, they played an FCS school. They beat them 45-3. So really, I think we're just gonna base it more on how they played against Notre Dame, which was actually really well, in spite of them losing Cam Ward. And so really, I think this is gonna be a really good game, honestly. Like, Beck leading the way passing-wise with 472 yards. Fletcher Jr., the running back, with 26 carries and 2 touchdowns. He's got 152 rushing yards on the year. 162 receiving yards for Tony, the wide receiver, with 2 receptions and a touchdown. Messidor, the defensive lineman, with 1.5 sacks on the year. And tackles, Bain Jr. with 9 tackles. He's a defensive lineman. So, talking about Miami and the ACC, they're actually, I don't know why, but for some reason they're at the bottom. Actually, no, they're like middle of the line, which I guess NC State has played an extra game, so maybe that's why they're given to them. And NC State is actually undefeated, which is actually bonkers. And maybe the reason why NC State is in the lead in the ACC is because they've actually played a conference game already. But yeah, South Florida is not in the ACC. They're actually in 4th place in the American Conference. Navy is actually leading that, even though I thought oh no, that's right, Navy. That's right, Army and Air Force are the friends, I think. Let's take a look at the sports betting odds. Let's see what everybody's saying. The over/under is 54.5 for South Florida. The spread 17.5. The over/under is 50. Okay, that was the open. The total is 56.5 for the over/under, and the money line for South Florida plus 500, negative 800 for the Miami Hurricanes. So we are just, brother. We actually have 4 people in the room. That's crazy. How old are you guys? 6, 7 years old? No way did I just say that. Oh boy. Okay. I'm done. I'm just gonna Wilson, come on now. You're telling me you got them on the stream, Wilson? Why did you have to do that for me? Why? Why, Wilson? Why? You're a good kid. Why did you have to do that, bro? Why would you tell my gosh, Wilson? My guy. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks a lot, Wilson. All right, I'm done with that. We're going into my picks. All right, let's break it down. One game at a time. Here we go. I'm ignoring the chat completely, even though thank you for 4 viewers on the stream. Totally thank you guys. All right. But first game at noon today, Wisconsin travels into Alabama at noon. Give me the Crimson Tide. Roll, Tide, roll. It's going to be an easy game for the Crimson Tide here. Yeah, I just think Alabama's too good of a team. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. This is at Georgia Tech, which is kind of strange considering that Clemson's just the higher ranked team. Although, if I'm correct, this is an ACC matchup, so this is a conference game. But I think Clemson's just way better than Georgia Tech easily. So give me. These first couple games are going to be cupcake games, like Oregon and Northwestern. But dude, give me the Ducks. Give me the Oregon Ducks. Yeah, that's right, baby. Give me the Ducks. Now we have Oregon State going into Texas Tech. This is a 3:30 kickoff tonight. Both of these teams look pretty good. Texas Tech is ranked now, so you know what? I'm gonna put my win for Texas Tech. 3:30 today. They're gonna be at home. The Red Raider Nation is gonna be loud and proud. Give me the Raiders. Now, here's the big game that we got to talk about. South Florida, Miami U. This is gonna be a tough one. This is definitely gonna be a tough one. I think if Miami can beat a team like Notre Dame, then they can definitely beat a team like South Florida. So I've got the Hurricanes. I've got the Hurricanes here. Now, let's jump into tonight, baby. Let's jump into tonight, baby. Oh shoot, it's green. It's green. Wrong color. Wrong color. We're playing a team in green today. No.
I think.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Give me the Bucks easily, 50-0. That's my final score prediction. If you hate it, you can comment against me. I don't care. How do we have 7 people in the chat? Oh, Ducks. You're about to get a viewer on a flip phone? Are no way. So you guys are all. Wilson, you're telling me you guys are on a bus right now and you're bored, so you're watching my stream, commenting 6-7. Okay. Thank you for the raid, Wilson. Everybody else on the cross-country team, go away. I don't even want to see you here anymore. Okay? Go away. Shoo. Enjoy the bus ride. Look outside the window. Put your phones down. It's a beautiful day. Look at the beautiful scenery behind me. The neighborhood stadium. Put your phones away, mate. All right. Next one. We've got Texas A&M and Notre Dame. And you know what? Gig 'em Aggies. That's right. I'm picking the Aggies over Notre Dame here, boys. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, you all are annoying. Give me the Aggies, baby. Aggie Nation. I can't go against Dude Perfect. I can't go against the Aggies. I don't like Notre Dame. Suck it up. I don't care. Give me Texas A&M on the road, baby. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. And you know what? This might surprise some people. But I'm actually going to take Vanderbilt. That's right. I'm taking Vanderbilt, baby. They're not a football school, but if they beat Alabama last year, they can beat South Carolina this year. Give me Vanderbilt, baby. Come on now. And now, the last game that we have to talk about today. The biggest. Georgia coming in to Rocky Town to take on the Vols. Who do I have? It's tough. It's definitely tough. This is tough. This is going to be a tough decision. But give me. When talking about a team like the Bulldogs, what's something that makes you think of the Bulldogs? Maybe the chant that goes, "What's that coming down the drag? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs, sick 'em. But you know what? That doesn't sound right. Because what happened? What makes you think of Rocky Top? I'll tell you what makes you think of Rocky Top. That good old Sloopy. Wait, that's Ohio State. That good old Rocky Top sound. You can't ignore it when you hear the band play this, gosh, beautiful tune. Give me the Vols! Give me the Vols! Let's go. I've got the Vols. I've got the Volunteers beaten. We're gonna take it. We are absolutely gonna take it. Well, why am I saying we? No. The Volunteers are absolutely gonna take it to the Bulldogs tonight, without a doubt. 3:30 Eastern, CBS. Tune in. Hope to see you watching. It's going to be a good game. Thank you guys so much for watching. And let's watch this hype video one more time before we leave. Does that sound fun? Yeah, we're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to say goodbye. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
We home, baby. We home. It ain't nothing like home, man. Hey, it's us against the world, fellas. It's us against the world, fellas. Don't nobody believe in it.
Wherever you're listening around the world, it's football time in Tennessee.